Good morning, welcome. It is a rainy day. Today is Wednesday, the midweek, and we're bringing you Random Threaded Maxine. It is raining right here in Accra, and I don't know wherever you're doing the watching or doing the listening. Is it raining at your end? How is the situation at your end? We're here, and it's time to bring you Random Threaded Maxine. So wherever you are, call a friend, call a brother, call a sister, tell them that it's time for Random Threaded Maxine. Maxine is here in the studios.
I'm here, yeah man.
So if you're also around, let us hear from you. Okay, let us hear from you so that we can go by sending in your comments on WhatsApp 0543295571. If you're watching us on YouTube, do share with us in the chat session. Alright, so Maxine is here. Maxine, good morning.
Good morning. Hello people. It's a rainy Wednesday morning.
Yeah. And
Dominic asked the question if it's raining at your end. Here is raining cat and doors. Butu. It's not easy. But see, we are here and it's all excitement in my voice. Hope you are doing well, because I am. You can tell from my voice. Somebody will say, you they are always well. Charlie, how for do? You have to be well, because that's what keeps the spirit moving. So I am well, sound, energetic, whatever it is that you want to describe my wellness with. That is what I am. So it's a rainy Wednesday morning, and the first thing I want to say to all my lovely listeners out there is that there are still generous people around. Okay, in as much as we might probably have some unpleasant experiences about how people failed us in terms of generosity, there are still generous people around. So as is coming to the studio, I don't have a car, and we didn't do an anticipation. You know how it is when you wake up and God pulls a surprise on you with rain. Okay, so I just tossing between, okay, should I set off, should I not set off, and all that, hoping that the rain kind of like settles in a bit so that we can all come to the studio and do what we love to do. Just when I got some few meters away from my house, saw this private car pass, and in my head I was thinking, this man is wicked. He should at least say that, oh madam, where are you off to? Or can you drop me off? Can I drop you off my junction or the junction, something? But he just drove past me, and as I was coming, there were a lot of people who had decided to take refuge from shops and other things just because the rain was really heavy. But just when I had walked a few distance, I was like, I shall overcome. So I saw this taxi driver coming to drop somebody off. Then I signaled him that, okay, once you drop the person off, I'll be waiting so that we come. Then from nowhere, just when I had set that thing in my mind, the gentleman just pulled off and said, please sit in. I sat in. I said, please, where are you heading towards? And he's like, where are you going? He said, I'm a Bolt driver, so just give me directions to where you are going. And I was like, super, because in the house I was contemplating whether I wanted to order for an Uber or get a taxi and all that. But you know how it is when it's raining. So I was like, there was no car available. This gentleman brought me straight to the studio, took out my purse, wanted to say how much. I mean, I didn't request for a boat, but Charlie, let me also offset the money small. And he said, it's fine. I couldn't ask his name. I didn't say anything. All I said was that God bless you. And he said, thank you. And this is the first miracle on a rainy day. God forgive me for how I thought that few minutes when he drove past and he didn't say anything. But this is how God is able to pull surprises on us. Just when we feel like there is no way out, just when we feel like, oh, we are disappointed, just when we feel like that person should have been of help, he has a way of surprising us. So I've been surprised this morning with a free ride to the studio. Do you want a surprise this morning? Have you given up on surprises? Genuine, and that's how come it's a surprise. You don't even know that you will get them, but you get them anyway. Whatever it is, Charlie, keep your fingers crossed. God still does wonderful things. Just that sometimes we've just closed our mind to the possibilities of things happening. And just when we are on the that bridge of giving up, the Lord has a way of showing up. My motivation this morning is that just like I have been reminded that things can change just in a split second, things can change for your good. For your good, know that. So good morning, and this is the note on which I would want to start with. Generosity, but that was what I even intend discussing. So it kind of like buttress the whole idea of why not talk to my lovely listeners this morning about being generous, but as against another option, being stingy. So I don't know if you know anybody that you think deserves the title stingy. We all do. We have friends that we say, hey, as for you, you are stingy, and you will say it nicely. Na can we pepe? I don't know how being stingy is in your language is said, but whatever it is, you know it. Now the person has the money to spend, but they will not spend it. Sometimes they just want to spend on themselves and not consider the one in need. Sometimes they have the means to purchase whatever they want to purchase, but they will just not do it because one, you stand a chance of benefiting. So I know the feeling, right? When you all decide to pick a taxi and you know that friend who will be joining you in the taxi will not even make an attempt to help you offset the bill. And so instead of you picking that taxi so that he or she benefits without helping you pay the bill, you'd rather opt for trotro, and you'd rather go to the back seats so that he sits in front, so that when mate says yes, you can pay alone, he also can pay alone. And that is most often than not our behavior, because we think that people think they are smart when we are generous. Those who would rather keep a blind eye, knowing that this thing has to be done, this thing has to be solved, this money has to be paid, are always the people. And there are times we even doubt our generosity, because in our bid to show generosity, people take us for a ride. Who should pay so that who keeps his money? Who should buy so that we all eat? Who should say, okay, I'll take care of that bill so that we all benefit? I don't know if you have any friend or you are listening and you are probably like that. But you see, as for me, I have a bad saving habit. And there are people whose saving habit and investment habit are top notch. They would want to account for every single detail or every single penny that leaves their wallet. Share. The person has put pen and paper down on also saying, so if you're supposed to buy kenke 2 cedis or 1 cedi 50 pesos and fish 1 cedi, that is the budget for the afternoon. He or she does not understand why he should get an extra kenke and get you fish in addition, when ordinarily she can use or he can use that money to feed himself the next day with regards to his or her lunch. Man is stingy. Man is generous. This morning, I don't know which of the category you belong to. But you see, sometimes it feels like we are too quick to say people are stingy. No, we don't have the slightest idea of what it was like growing up. Some people grew up with parents who are economists. And so they are very particular how they spend their money, because growing up they have been taught to spend in a certain way, and so it kind of like even influences their whole decision of getting money out of their wallet. There are things that they know that this thing matters, I should get this, It is not like you are being frugal in your spending, but it's just like you need it. But they still will toss it in their head. I sit in my mother's shop and people want discounts for anything, everything, when it's even the cheapest you can get on the market. And I ask myself, what is it that will leave you when you give that money out? I don't know whether you are generous or not. I don't know if you've ever been tagged as being stingy, but it's not a pleasant one. But I know people who do not even mind. Just on 2 cases here, whether or not you say you are stingy or not, for them they can't be bothered. And my question this morning is, why can you not spend what you know you have to spend? There are people who say, sort it out, pay for this, I'll pay you back. You will not see them again. And we know friends who have said those things, oh, do this with your money, I'll sort you out. And you know that the person has the ability, but they do not want to support. They do not want to keep that part of their bargain. People think, oh, it is a waste of money. Why pick taxi when you can pick trotro? Does it even matter if it's necessary or it's not necessary? But you see, as I said, people have been brought up in ways and forms that some of us are clueless. But you see, just against when we say somebody is stingy, there's another side, which is being generous. Generosity comes from the heart. It's sacrificing. It's being there for people, not in terms of monetary obligations, but just knowing that this person has a good heart. Those who choose to be stingy always would want to toss with the idea of whether or not I should spend, and they do not even mind if they get the approval of other people. The rich, who we think are the rich and must spend on us, rather would spend on themselves and not consider us. That friend that you know that, oh, as for this lunch, you can be able to sort it out, will prefer eating his lunch alone, so that the rest of you, whether you go and dive into the deep sea, he or she cannot be bothered. But the truth is, there are people who are genuinely struggling with their finances, just that they cannot tell us. But we have been quick to judge that they are pepe, they are stingy. If you happen to be privy to some of the things that really happening with people, you get to understand that, oh, it is not like they are stingy, but just that they have genuine concern. Some people are cutting costs because financially things are not too well for them. It might look on the outside, we might be quick to judge that they are being stingy, but whatever it is, they have genuine concerns. Can we not be quick to judge when we do not even know the full story of why people fail to spend, when we think they have the means but are not spending? Why must we always allow the tables to turn in our favor when we do not even know the details? But there are people too, it is their behavior. Hey, Peny, it is not like they have any financial constraint. No. It is in their nature. And I say this, and might sound cliche, but see, this morning I even said this week we are going to do things about women. Women do not like men who are stingy. It is not about the amount of money you give us, but you see, my father will say this, that there are people who are generous even in thought. Just the mind that, oh, just the notion that you need credit. The person sends you 2 Ghana, you know that this person, if he has more, he can send me 20 Ghana. And so for us to say that, oh, there are people who have genuine concerns, they are financially constrained, and all, there are people who are not financially constrained, but that is their behavior. it's all about saving, and they can say for a fact, they are emphatic that, hey, when you get broke now, all those people that you were generous towards will be nowhere to be found. And I can understand. People are keeping their monies close to their hearts because in the past they've had bad experiences of they being in need and not getting anybody to sort out. But when I was preparing for today's topic, I came across this quote. I hope I get the pronunciation of the name right. Horace. And he says that the stingy is always in need. In as much as the stingy is always in need, you want to keep, and you would constantly hear them, hey, I need money, I need money, I need money, and you are wondering, you do not even part with your money, you do not even contribute, you do not even give money. All you do is about you, is about you, is about you. Nobody gets to benefit from the money that feels limited, but you're still complaining. And I don't know if you know people like that. They are getting money and they are still complaining. And so when I saw this quote, it kind of like struck me as like, the stingy is always in need. And this by Horace. I don't know what posture there is, but I can understand that there's been a point where we have all been broke. Just here, train. And then from nowhere somebody showed up out of some generosity we expressed some years back. And that's the returns. For those who keep shall lose. And that's the whole thing. I mean, that is how the dynamics of the game is. For you keep, you shall lose. You shall lose in a way that you probably will not expect or anticipate. But you know that you are losing. Now the question is, why is it difficult for some of us to be generous? One, we think people will take us for granted. And I know. We listen and we know people have taken us for granted. You realize that you were giving your money out. By the time you realize, they say the person has 2 plots of land, they have gotten to lending stage, and you don't have land. And for all you know, that your 50-20 Ghana is what the person was using to buy cement. And you can imagine how hurt you would be when you realize that all you did was to throw your money away for that Christmas. And that hurt. So I can understand when people are tilted towards keeping what they have, because they honestly think this is a way to safeguard my future when it comes to money, when it comes to assets. People do not insist that they should be supported, but sometimes we know that people need support. And out of our very nature of knowing that we want to keep and not give out, we even keep a blind eye. There are friends who would even agree that, as for this outing, let's all pay 50. You get there and the story is different. There is one person who is ordering everything on the menu and is refusing to even sort out. There's an agreement for the guys who drink. You know how it is like. Boys for do sitting. You go and do sitting. No, there's that particular one who will drink more than all of you, and when the bill comes, all he's bringing out is 20 Ghana, or bringing out an excuse that he's cash strapped, he cannot pay, and all that. Spending your penny, especially your hard-earned penny, can be difficult. Sometimes it is your own money, but spending it is difficult. But at other times too, we even fail to spend it on ourselves and we spend it on other people. Hasn't there been occasion where you think you deserve better? And you just say, can I just go to a restaurant and have a good meal? But you think about that request the person put across some days back. They're like, instead of me spending that 100 Ghana cedis on that rice and chicken, let me give out. And we have failed to pamper ourselves. All we are doing is sorting people out who are also keeping what they have. If you are to see their bank statement, you will collapse. Somebody will say you collapse. All because they have taken our generosity for a ride. And why are we even generous in the first place? Is it for self-approval? Is it that is it that genuinely we want to help? For those of us who find ourselves always extending a hand of generosity, are we hurt when we realize that our generosity has been misconstrued? You know, sometimes when you're too generous, people think that even financially, you do not even know what it means. 10 rules of an investment. They're giving, and they are thinking that you are not even smart. Does he have investment plans? There are times people will call you at odd hours. The next moment you are sorting them out, and you are thinking that couldn't I have invested this 50 Ghana? I'm sure I probably have been getting a lot of returns. Stingy versus generosity. When do you draw the line when somebody is taking you for granted? You know the thing I said about people saying, "Oh, sort it out." Just when you are at the counter to pay the thing, that is where the person will be playing gimmicks and doing as if they carry around who baby away and all that. Now people even see you in church and they will pretend they have not seen you, because they are thinking that, oh, there's a budget in and out, 2 cedi 50 pesos, 2 cedi. If they add it to the budget, 7 cedi 50 pesos short of 2 cedi 50 pesos, which the person can do something with. There are some of us too, even our level of being stingy is top notch. We don't give gifts, we don't give our time, and it's always not in the material things. I say people are stingy with their time, stingy with their money, stingy with everything, their thoughts. Even when they can express an idea that will help you become better, or this thing you are so probably if you have done it this way, people are not even generous with their comments. And I wonder that people can be generous, to the extent that they can even give you 2 or 3 versions of what you are looking for, and even ask you to choose from and see which one you're more comfortable with. And this is how people go. The extent to which people go. Relationship thrives on sharing. Whether husband, wife, child, parent, colleague, bosses, relationship will always thrive on our ability to share. Not only sharing things that are monetary, but things that will augur well for the relationship. Your efforts and your ability to share must correspond with what you value as friendship. The effort you put in your friendship and the things you set out to give must be something that is of value. People have problems, and honestly sometimes they just want people to talk to, and you are just stingy with your time. I don't have time. You won't give money. Advice to that the person knows that, as for this one, we can bang our hopes on this person. You are not there to be found. The stingy is always in need. This morning, I have been told that people are still generous, and there are people who still do not want to change from being stingy. It's all about using your money well. I can understand. See, if you don't keep that money well, someday when you are broke, you won't find anybody to sort you out. I understand. There are people, even tipping waiters and waitresses is a Herculean task. The 2 cedi 50 pesos, this person will take it. There is nothing in their world like keep the change. Keep the change, saying. Whatever it is, that lady who came to serve you on that table did a good job. You are in your mind thinking, but they get paid, so why should I give them a tip? Why should I be the one to sort them out? But if you don't even realize, if you are not even sure, those tips they've been taking, they can even buy car with it. Babe, doesn't matter. Given what you can give, you have the means. You can sort this out. But why does it come with some level of difficulty? I understand perfectly when people take us for, in quote, a fool, because we are always the ones who wants to give. It is not like those who give do not know the essence of saving. It's not like they are oblivious to the fact that someday you get broke and you can't find anybody to sort you out. But it's just out of sacrifice. There are times we give, not because we have in abundance, but just that we know that this is the heart that we can offer, and this is our gift that we can also give. Keep the change should be one of the things that you say easily. Keep and keep and keep for yourself. You might probably end up being miserable. Now you have everything. You have safeguarded all the things that you want to safeguard. You are alone. Spend it alone. You know that rich uncle, of course. Nobody visits them now. Because that man has anticipated that mobile 6 coke 6. So anytime you want to pay a visit, he says, I'm not around. I'm not around. Now they are old and they are there alone in that big mansion. Their investment and the account and the bank statement is not bringing people closer, because people can say for a fact it's not like he didn't have, he just didn't want to give. We know people who are living a life of loneliness just because they were stingy. They've cut off everybody and now they are bearing the consequences. It's just like putting a seed on the ground. It will germinate. Generosity germinates. Maybe not today. Might be today you are thinking, oh, you are rather being foolish when other people are being smart. But just when you need help, the Lord will show up through somebody you have been generous to. Whoever remembers a stingy man, we just remember them for they being stingy, but we don't remember them for the effort. We don't remember them for the love, because they never made any effort. Please, life has a way of playing back the lifestyles we led some years back. Being stingy is a lifestyle. For some people, it's a lifestyle. They have purpose that this is how I want to live. Every single minute. I know little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. Those coins can do something for you. That money can buy you 3 times whatever you need. But sometimes you just have to let go. Let go of the things that you are comfortable giving. Don't go out of your way to please people when you know you don't have the means. Just say it. On that platform, you know that you have never contributed. You have never. Somebody will say never. But you know that 20 CD, and sometimes people would even peg the amount to a level that everybody can pay. So they will give you a range. Okay, so we are paying 20 Ghana cedis to 100 Ghana cedis. No amount is small, then they will add it. You know that 20 crowd they have said is small, but you give 20. You will give 20, and you say things like, oh, they are the ones who wants to go and get married. It's because they have money, and so if they want to get married, it is their own palaver. Well, what do we have in giving? No. Are you giving because you in your mind you are calculating people's money? Are you an economist? Are you minister of finance? So does it even matter? So what's the heck if the person has money and you are counting? What is it? Must you do calculation for people? Because people are not doing calculation for you. Dominic, are you doing calculation for people? If this boy is earning this, and he wants us to contribute this towards his father's funeral, he will get more than this. Is it your business? It is not in your place. You see how your life is because you are not giving. Well, baby, I mean, it is your hard-earned money. It's not like you should be frugal. Oh, you get a girl. They say, oh, let's go and say, oh no, coke, then we can buy it and tell mess place. Sometimes it's not about the 1 CD coke you want to buy. It's sometimes the ambience. When your girl and we jail because and you are rather asking, should I come home and eat? Come and eat what? Because you don't want to. The person should cook, and sometimes you are even asking the person to cook, and you are not even giving them anything. What do you have in the house? I don't have anything. And you will say this, and when you come, you are the one who even eats more. because you have budget. There are people who are checking up on you because they know that Sunday afternoon you are preparing banku and okra soup. It's on the menu. Sunday, by the time you realize, no, they are there. Oh, I closed from church. I wanted to come and pass by. When you know you have money and you have been eating from that house, not once, not twice have you said that. Oh, I passed by the market. I saw this fresh okra and I saw this tilapia. Since I've been eating tilapia here, oh, this is in order. Can you keep it for next week? All you do is, hey, wait, the mama me, and you are not. I mean, thanking the people. It's not like I mean, the person invests time in cooking, money in buying food stuff. All you do is to come enjoy and say thank you. We don't need a thank you. Can you just go out of that way of feeling that, oh, because the people are there to give banku and okra soup every Sunday, you enjoy? And we are missing out on a lot of opportunities. People who are generous will look at us and know that, this guy, he's not worth my generosity, just because you think you are the smart one. But unfortunately, you are not being smart about that move. This lifestyle must change. What you even eat is difficult for you. One soup, you pour water in it and warm it with a kakadru and warm it with Jenny for it to regain its nutrition. Meanwhile, the nutrition is gone. Shirt, you know that this shirt are bread. You know it. Then you be saying, I'm not a fool to be buying shirt like. But when somebody buys for you, you collect. Who should be buying for you? We the foolish ones who do not know what to do with our money. And that's how you make us feel. And that's how people who are generous oftentimes will feel that you think I'm the fool. And I know people who have said it out of pain. They will say they don't have money, but wait till there's a wedding. They will show up all glammed. There are times we have given out things to people. Later we realize that what they have, we cannot even boast of a quarter. We cannot. And then we are asking ourselves, are we that foolish? Were we not smart to have read in between the lines that were being taken for granted? Must generosity end at a point? This is another question to my listeners. Especially when you realize that that stingy man or that stingy girl you are dealing with needs to be cut off. We'll be right back.
All right. So if you're now joining us, you're welcome. It is the midweek edition of Random Thought Maxine. And this morning we're talking about being stingy and generous. Where do you fall? Are you stingy or you are generous? Where is your generosity leaving you? And where is your stinginess also leading you? Let us know. If you have any experience, share with us. As I told you, you can be a part of this program right from the beginning to the end. Share your comments with us in the chat section of the YouTube video, or send us a WhatsApp message right now, 0543295571. Stingy versus generous. Where do you fall?
All right. So we've watched our parents grow, and sometimes you don't fully understand the dynamics. When somebody tells you that papa pepe, it hurts. And interestingly, I think I want to add a touch to what we are discussing too. Women naturally do not like men who are stingy. Mm-hmm. So now I can understand when people say like otuya. Does he pay? And now it's not all about the fanboy. No. You can have a fine face, but actually the man obey as he can cry or your calculation or drought. And so women actually are not attracted towards men who are not generous, stingy men. It doesn't matter what emotional support you give, but there are times that something has to die, and it's your giving. I know men will complain that women, once you start giving them attention and giving them support financially, materially, and that is where I would always say that we draw the lines, because for me, I can understand that if you give me the opportunity to operate, take me to a boutique and say choose whatever. Don't call me. But you see, that is the point that we always have to come to, that there has to be a definition of where your generosity must end. So there are people who say, Charlie, you have only 40 Ghana. Choose just 2 things. You can't go beyond 40 Ghana. And that's like a restriction. There are people who never contribute to anything, but wait till it's their turn, something happens to them, and we are taking suggestions for contribution. Because it is the mother who is not alive. She's the one who will say, oh, let's do 100 cedis. Meanwhile, if it was somebody else's mother or somebody else's something, he will say that, oh, it's too much. They will complain and complain and complain. But when it gets to their turn, they would rather want the tables to turn in their favor.
Exactly.
There are people too who are good at giving exact amount. Hey, there wouldn't even be one person. They send it to Malata. They know the prices already. Stock exchange markets. Not even in 20 cedis for 20 pesos for water. Exact amounts. 10 cedis you crown more so. So if you get a man like this and he's aware of the price, sometimes they even go out of their way to check out the price first. Calculated. Yeah. No, this one I asked from the woman. He said the Milo is 16 cedis. Pepe. Oh, this I asked. They said the cowbell is 17 cedis. So that there is no room for excess. Yeah. People are even stingy with the kind of collection they give. You attend church service. You are sitting on your seat and you are thinking that they are going to use the money for women or for something. So you give 2 cedis. Okay. Another man will say, okay, it is your decision. We know that we have the means, but you will never and ever support even your siblings. You know it. That this school fees, you can pay some. You can pay some. Sometimes it's not like they even want you to pay the full amount. The person can even come to you and say, oh, bruh, during the vacation I went to work somewhere, I got this X amount of money, all I need is 50 Ghana cedi top up. You tell the person you don't have. Meanwhile you have. Meanwhile you that you are telling the person you don't have, somebody also paid your school fees. And I can understand, oh, when you start doing it like this, they will think you have money and they will be bringing all the obligations at your doorstep, and that is where you draw the line. I can only give you this X amount of money anytime your school fees has to be paid. You set the standard. I can only give you provisions when you are going to school. In between the term, I can't give you anything. You set the standard. As we are going out to chill as friends, I am only paying for things below this price tag. You set the standard so that people do not take you for a ride. Oh, that's boy. And there are people who are taking advantage of people's generosity. Oh boy, we are rich since oh, he's been paying all the time. Oh, he doesn't know what to do with his money. Yeah. And you are there, you say, oh, he works with this A and B and C company. Oh, as for them, they pay them well. This one cries even peanuts. And there are girls and ladies who are terrible. I am a woman, I'll say this. Just because somebody has offered to take you out, you are there singing, me baby nay. I didn't ask for it. But you know that all the things you are ordering on that thing, you won't pay with your money. But because somebody has bought himself, or then so it is time to milk. And this is how come people are not even generous in relationships. Because there is an agenda from the women to milk. There's an agenda to suffocate. There's an agenda. It's not just milk. They want to milk you dry. And so I know there's some guys who will not even offer to take you to a restaurant, because once they open the floodgates, you let it rain. And the good book will say, my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory. There are times that you are not my God, but you know you can supply that need. Why wouldn't you supply? Does it make you less of a human being? You are always counting your money. I think somebody is stealing some. It's because you are not giving. You are always suspecting that somebody has taken something that belongs to you. Meanwhile, nobody even knows about it. That is how come when your money gets missing in that room, you cannot say it. because nobody knows you have that money. You are here, your wife and your children are constantly on your case. They need something, you will not give. That is how come you work and the money will drop and you will find, and somebody else will find. Hallelujah. That's how come
Oh God.
And when you come home, somebody will say, what the best you can't talk plenty. And you know, because you are not making the right investment, your things are just spoiling basa basa. This is today. I'm not a prophetess of doom, but that's the reality. Sometimes you don't even know what you did with the money, just because you want to save it. If you had even given it to somebody to spend, the God bless you alone will sustain you. The God bless you alone will sustain you. For those of us who do not have a good saving habit, I think it's time to put a pause on our generosity and start saving a little more. For some of us, we don't even know how to say no to people, especially when they come to us with offers. Sometimes you know you cannot. Sometimes you even know that you are even cash trapped, or things are not really going to well, but you still want to. Can we start saying no? I've heard weird stories about people who stand during traffic and ask for money and have buildings all around. I don't know if they are concocted stories, but for some people they say it's true. Oh, this man, he has been begging all this while and 2 of his children are in the university. Hallelujah. That is him. But you see, don't allow somebody's impression that you are the fool in quote get you out of being generous. Generosity makes relationship thrive. Know it when somebody is milking you dry. Know it when you know that as for this one dear, oh fecho, you won't buy milk. See how your body has become. The shirt that you have been wearing, you know that this shirt also be share, and you have the money. That shoe you have been repairing the sole for God knows how many years. And you realize that sometimes in your bid to keep the money, you buy things that are cheap and not of intrinsic value. 2 days, 3 days, now say. Then you buy another one again, now say. Just because you have seen that shoe probably if you had bought it at 150 could save you 2 years. But you are thinking, shoe 150. But you see, that's the smart one. The one who decides to get the one that he or she would have value for. You probably keep investing 25 for the next 6 months when it could equally have amounted to that 150 that you are running away from. And for those of us who are very frugal, you spend and you don't think twice. Ask yourself, in my bid to spend, is it necessary? I know there are times we want to be very comfortable, but ask yourself, is it necessary? When you can buy a Coke at a restaurant and you decide to get a cocktail, when you know that, oh, okay, this is also a drink, is it necessary? But this is not to say this. Sometimes we even forget to spoil ourselves at the expense of spoiling other people.
All right, so I don't know why. Always the funny comments are the ones that come first.
Because we need them, right?
All right, so this person is saying you are in a rented apartment, and you've paid money for someone to build his own house. And you are failing to feed your family with a good meal. May God help you.
Amen. Amen.
May God help you.
Amen. Receive that. Your wife is asking for money.
Yeah.
That things. And sometimes I honestly don't know how our mothers do it. But there are times you, Dominic, you are married, so you can say it. And 100 cedis but see, take the opportunity and follow her to market one Saturday. You know that your 100 Ghana cedis is like 10 pesos. Because when you go to the market, the money might sound big in terms of value. But when you go to the market, you realize that the 100 cedis can only buy Nema 4. And you are thinking in your head that this is 100 cedis I give. There are men who are not even giving money. and your wife will be going back and forth with you, and so we can't buy this, things have gone up, but when they come and they serve you the food, you say an empty penny. That's so which money did you give to be eating really and things? The money you gave is the food they have prepared for you.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, sometimes for us them women, it's difficult and manage. I can understand, it's part of the whole process of getting married, that you cannot always get the money in abundance, but sometimes the managing is not manageable.
Yeah, it's true. All right. All right. So
I don't like that.
So this one is also saying, great topic. You are doing a good job. Some people have given up in being generous because of what others said about their generosity.
Yeah.
Sometimes they take you for a fool.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about my experience? Those assaulting some national service people are. My time I realized, you see this wig, blank cat, they have some. I don't have some. I say, hey, you know, just realize that their things they even have that I don't have. Their phones were more flashy and all that. My phones were cracked. I say, if I saved this 50 Ghana within this period that I was doing Father Christmas, I might probably have gotten a nice phone. So that people you sort out the iPhones they will even bring out, and you're wondering, it's not easy. But you know that there are people to a gunpoint. Whatever you do, they won't give you money.
They won't. I think that there's a comment here.
Okay.
Like, the person is saying that some people are generous outside, but when they come home, it's something else.
Oh, that's one.
Yeah.
That is when your money gets missing, you can't come and say it. you know that your father has the thing. This one he can sort you out.
Yeah.
But they would rather prefer. Oh, then you don't know how it is like. We women. Oh, Mrs. Mensah. Okay, Mrs. Mensah, kindly thank your husband for me. The last time, I said the way he sorted us out. Oh, meanwhile, you had asked for 50 cedis, but your husband has sorted your people out with 200 Ghana cedis. These are all the things you do. You open the flag, then the woman will be stealing. No, but sometimes it hurts that you are in a relationship with somebody. There are things that you know. It's not like you don't know that they can give, but as so much it's ungodly, unspiritual. Please repent. It's not liturgical. It's not in the order of the mass. Don't do that.
Someone is saying that
being
stingy or generous is part of some people. Naturally, they learned that from the womb because their parents decided even not to eat for them to get something to eat.
And so the effect is what came out like on the unborn baby. I can understand. When did this come cry? Sometimes you are passing, you know that this fruit is 1 Ghana you can buy, but you are thinking of that susu box.
Yeah.
That you have to put that 1 Ghana in.
All right. Did you? So this one is coming from Mary Ajo, and she's saying, "Great topic. God bless your good works. A man who gives everyone money except the wife and children is a man generous or stingy?" Okay, so she's asking, a man who gives everyone money except the wife and children, is that man generous or stingy?
It's stingy. Outside gentility.
Yeah. Home
cry. Yeah, that's it. I mean, when you are generous, it cuts across.
Sure.
There are people who have decided to just restrict their generosity to, because that is where you get the self-approval. But abonti suni that when I give them they'll keep thank you. Last night thank you so much for that thing. You really saved that. And so sometimes it's just out of self-approval. You want to be approved, because those in the house will cry when you do the goodness for them, they cannot acknowledge or they won't thank you enough. So I know people would rather prefer, but you see, it has to start from the house.
Sure.
It begins at home. That's what charity says. It begins at home. So make sure that your immediate environment enjoy your generosity. Some people are stingy with their own children.
It's true.
But you see, they buy stuff for other people's children. You are there, you never bought toys for your daughter or your son. Oh, they will spoil it.
Yeah.
But you be there and they will do a whole package of toys for somebody else just because uncle so and so bought. See, uncle so and so bought you toys, and they will be saying thank you. But when you went to Abuche, you alone, you have not bought anything to your family members, but you have given phones to other people. What is that?
Oh God.
Unliturgical.
All right. So, Ajo, you heard it. The person is stingy. Okay. And we should also learn to be grateful for things. Okay?
Yeah.
Sometimes when you show appreciation, it helps.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes you know that the people are being generous outside.
Exactly.
They are not, but the little, if they're able to do something little in the house, let them know that you appreciate.
Exactly. So just like we said about the husband-wife relationship scene.
Yeah.
Maybe your husband every time back and forth standard 100 Ghana cedis, whether it's a benkwai in Katenkwai for anything is 100. But one day maybe you just talk through it and you're like, oh, but then finally the person decides to add 50. This is not the time for you to say, hey, why are you so better? But I mean, just let them know that because it's very uncomfortable. People are unwilling to give now. It's on just the unwillingness that why should I part with this money? Why should I sort this thing out? Why should I? Why should I? That is always the determinant for why you are being. Why shouldn't you? Me the day I mean I'm at least make an effort. Because if you don't realize it at this stage, it will get to a time. Say you say you want to chop your money alone. You will chop alone.
To be too late.
All
right. Someone is saying it's not difficult to know who is really in need because some people are just taking advantage of generosity to amass wealth for themselves. So
because that's the whole thing. The rationale is that we are giving because the person says they don't have ABS. But sometimes the story is wait till you get into their room. Plus man in Aboho.
And then
meanwhile you have a tikopo at your back. And you don't even have those gadgets. You don't even party. I mean, so it hurts that sometimes you think that all my money has translated into this. But see, those people, it's just a matter of time. You find out who they really are. And once it's that challenge, you cut all these things. People take food for granted, but food is expensive. If the person is coming to your house every Sunday, know that person, that is a subai. And there are no at least bring some journey that you are passing by. You're titi journey so and things. So get this journey for them. But you know that the people has spent a whole year. The person constantly has been eating. They won't even say, get this and offset. Because Charlie going to the market, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
Man, it's not easy.
All right. All right. So someone is also saying that some people are hiding behind we are Christian. Christian brother. Help me, Christian brother. And behind your back, they will still insult you after you rendering the help. So stop hiding behind Christian brother. Help. And then after all this, you insult us that we don't know what to do with our money.
That hurts. And wait till you are broke. Wait till you are down. Obieka said down there.
They will tell the
that
whole
is
world
it.
how
so I can understand why people are always in a bit to hold on to what they have and not release it. Because once you are down there, they will even forget that you extended a helping hand some time back. So please, as you say, let's discern. Sometimes you know there are people who are just taking you for a ride. Sister Maxine, when I ask, she'll give me. Meanwhile, Sister Maxine too is struggling, but it's out of sacrifice that the person decides. Then the money that they have given you because you said things are not, you go and sit somewhere and chop kebab. Meanwhile, Sister Maxine too has not even he or she doesn't even remember the last time she even treated herself. It's not easy. Know that you can't carry all the burdens.
You see,
sometimes you too and get small.
All right. So, do you have any experience? Share with us. Are you stingy or you are generous? All right. So, Joshua, you're giving a thumbs up.
Okay, Joshua.
right, so we're still here. It's Random Thought with Maxine, and today happens to be a Wednesday, and it's the midweek edition. You can still share your comments, your thoughts with us. Our time is almost up.
Okay.
But the video will still be up there. So for those who are doing the listening on radio, PenyGh Radio, you can catch this live on YouTube, PenyGh. So if you're able to send in your comment, thank you. If you are not, it's still not too late. So Maxine, any final words too?
Alrighty. So for the first thing I want to say is that please, let's try as much as possible to extend a helping hand. Keep the change should be part of our dictionary. Try coins now. I can order 2 cedi 50 no farmer no why. Then the second thing I want to say is I know that every kind or type of relationship is a matter of sharing. Okay, it thrives on sharing, and your sharing must be correspondent to the things that you uphold. So you can share your time, you can share your intellect, you can share, but make sure you also share the material thing. With the advice now, can we also know that whatever it is, there will be people who take us for granted. We know that we have become stingy, you know it. People have said it, family, friends, and all that. Maybe you have genuine concerns about why you've taken that posture, but know that the stingy is always in need. Let's also draw lessons from people who have failed to give, to sacrifice, and now are just keeping and holding on to the things that they kept all by themselves. Life is more enjoyable when we share, but know it when somebody is taking you for a ride, and it doesn't pay to be stingy. It doesn't. All you do is that you go around in circle, keeping, and there are times that unfortunately you lose all the things you kept. That's how come you raise something from nowhere, bulldozer will come and not knowing that it's just because you took people for granted. And those people, when they find out that they were taken for granted, might say things that will not augur well. Let's not take people for a ride. Treat that lady to a nice meal. Don't say that ask for coconut, a ton of paloma, and then one a ton of baby. And be willing to part with a little bit of what you have. Save, but also enjoy the life you have, and part with something small. Don't be frugal, but know that at least sometimes you deserve some, we can say some pamperments like that. And know that BBA fine. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for always connecting. We really appreciate your time with us. It's always good when you go to a comment section, we hear that, oh, this one says this. It's not like we are alone, me and Dominic. It's good to know that there are other people too who are listening in. And we thank you so much for traveling all this way with us. We are grateful. Enjoy the weekend. We'll be back on Monday with more interesting topics. I'm out of here. Bye.
All right. So that is where we end the midweek edition of Random Thought with Maxine. Today is a Wednesday. It has been good staying with you. So for those who are able to send in your comments, we say thank you. God bless you. For those who could not send in your comment, next time try and do your best. So Mary Ajo, thank you. For all those who sent in comments and did not add your names, thank you. Let's meet again on Monday. So the video will still be on YouTube, PenyGh. You can play back and enjoy the other videos up there. So if you missed the previous edition, do check it out, okay? So I want to say a very big thank you. God bless you. Let's meet on Monday. It is a bye for now.
On Peny Radio, your #1 online Christian radio station. Peny Radio, hope for the hopeless. Christian radio station. Peny Radio, hope for the hopeless.